Well, it is holiday season, and we had a chance to watch Sonic last night. Does this movie live up to the expectations of holding down the fort as the best family movie for the holiday season? Or did it not ring it up? That was really bad. Sorry about that. Now, before we get started, I want to thank everybody. We've hit the threshold. Memberships are on the channel, so we're going to go into those more at the new year and really figure out how these tiers are going to work. But I want to thank anybody out there who decides to join a membership. I have two tiers of 99 cents and $4.99 that will give different perks. And there's zero pressure to join. I expect really nobody to join unless, anybody wants to. But just hitting this milestone is a big thank you to everybody in this community. But let's talk about Sonic here. And what was a franchise that I very much enjoyed came here with a third overall movie featuring Keanu Reeves as Shadow and another Jim Carrey as another Eggman, the grandfather of our current Eggman. And there's a lot to like about this movie, and I think for a lot of people, it will work really well as a family kids movie. Jim Carrey is Jim Carreying it up. If you like classic Jim Carrey, there's a lot of scenes in here, there's a lot of moments in here where he is giving some of his most fun and most Jim Carrey-like comedy that you'll see for decades. Acting around himself, some of the just his acronym, his Jim Carreyisms and all that is probably the thing that carries the film the most. No pun intended. And it reminds me so much of the prime 1990s, Jim Carrey with things like Liar Liar, with things like Ace Ventura. Any type of movie from the 90s that you can remember from Jim Carrey, this really brings you back to that level. And the fact that he was acting against himself, you can see he loved this opportunity, he loved this joy, and it really did add a lot of fun elements to this movie. The Shadow part, I think, had an interesting potential storyline in understanding Shadow as a character and teaching a message easy for kids. That can feel a little complex about, revenge emotions and stuff like that. My issue when it comes to Shadow and Maria is I think they could have done this in a much better way. My issues with Sonic 3 overall is it felt like this movie was a little bit fast-tracked, and the script and just the scene-by-scene nature just felt kind of like a down, up, down, up, down, up. And there wasn't much time really given to, I feel, characters being built all that much, which is perfectly fine. This is a under 2 hour, family-friendly, kids-probably more friendly movie that got a lot of people happy in the theater I was at. I just wasn't sure exactly where this ended up overall. Just because there's a lot of referential jokes. There's a lot of parts that I feel is meant for TikTok and TikTok moments, including a Jim Carrey duet dance scene that I cannot wait to see people react to. I think it's going to be a fun one to react to. But the character of Sonic and Tails didn't add too much. Tails kind of felt like just there. Knuckles is the standout of the three group. Idris Elba continues to deliver the best lines. He continues to deliver the laugh out moments. Knuckles is the MVP of that team. James Marsden and his significant other in this movie were also fine throughout. But Sonic wasn't as fun for me as possible. Felt more forced. I wasn't the biggest fan of how this didn't feel like very level, matching the game per se, which is one thing I've enjoyed about the first Sonic 2 movies, is it felt like there was parts of the movies that felt very inspired by the game, and that didn't seem like it happened in this movie. And like I said, the Shadow and Maria elements and learning Shadow's backstory, I think you could have done more and the scenes could have been better than what they felt like, which is like very cookie cutter. Let's just have a Shadow being a friend with a kid in a few of these scenes and not really go into anything more deep besides, hey Shadow, I love you. I love you too, Maria. That's kind of it. But the comedy alone for Jim Carrey, I think, will carry this over for people. I think the action and the consistent, fast-paced nature will keep young kids and just people happy throughout this film. I think it very much succeeds its nature as a family film, and even though with my rating here of a silver, I'm being a little bit more hard for me because it's my personal enjoyment, but I think this is a movie that, compared to Mufasa that came out, which I'll have a review on here later this weekend, or even maybe later today, did not really deliver the same type of easygoing, I think, family-friendly nature. Where Sonic, I just think people were enjoying. There was people laughing throughout. The action kept people engaged. I think this is a movie that parents could sit through and be perfectly fine. They'll eye roll and you might loathe it in some points, but kids and the majority of people, I think, will enjoy and have no problem sitting through. But that's going to be my thoughts on Sonic 3 the Hedgehog. Stay for at least 2 after credit scenes. There's one big one that I think Sonic fans are going to look forward to, and then there's another one that hints at a certain character that you should, if you really care about, you could stay to the very end. But that's going to be it for me here. I hope you guys have a happy holidays. Check out the Steelers versus Ravens live stream coming out on Saturday here. We have the Best Director Screenplay video coming out on Monday, and then Mufasa video coming out somewhere around here. So, thank you everybody for watching, and I cannot wait to see more movies this holiday season. We got a lot of stuff to catch up on, and it's going to be a busy, busy week here on the channel. So again, thank you for everybody helping me hit the YouTube partner threshold, but we got more work to do, including getting ready for the Joshkers on New Year's Day. But until next time, I wish you guys all a good weekend, and if I don't see you until after Christmas, Merry Christmas, and if you celebrate other holidays, have a happy holiday. Cheers!